You've served with a lot of presidents. Can I just get your take on them? President Carter, what was your thoughts on him? You're a member of Congress when he was in office.
Didn't really get face-to-face contact with him, so it's hard for me to judge. But he was a president that spent too much time on detail and not enough time on the big problems. And the detail I'm talking about is they said he used to schedule people when they could use the tennis court or not.
Yep, I heard that too. Pretty remarkable. He's still going now in his 90s, and he's had a very productive post-presidency, hasn't he?
He's been very, very successful. More successful as a political leader and sometimes diplomat and sometimes a spokesman on moral issues. Then he's probably been more successful in post-presidency than he was in his presidency.
What's your thoughts on Ronald Reagan?
He always worried about the big issues and left the little issues to other people, and he's the best president I ever served under, but not necessarily the most likable. The one I liked the most was George W. Bush. He's pretty much like we Iowans.
How about his father, George H.W. Bush?
Let's see. He was a person that was probably more devoted to public service than his son, because through the early Bushes, they saw public service as something that was responsibility of people that were well trained and well endowed, both financially and mentally. And they saw that as their drive, and there's nothing wrong with it, because I suppose in a sense I've kind of seen that as my drive, but I'm not, I'm not in the class of being well endowed, I guess you'd say.
You're a farmer, not a. President Clinton.
Well, if you talk to him, you were the most important person in the world. He would stand there and either talk to you that you were important or listen to you that you were important. His first 4 years were a failure. His last 4 years, had very successful policy.
George W. Bush. You said you really liked him.
Yeah.
How was he as a president?
How was he what?
As a president.
Oh, I think very good. I think he showed that on 9/11, and it wasn't until the last years of his presidency that got too deeply involved in Iraq. That was about the only thing I'd consider a mistake. I worked very closely with him when I was chairman of the Finance Committee, getting the 2001 tax bill passed, and more importantly than the tax bill was our working with him to get Part D of prescription drug program for Medicare, because they never had any Medicare help.
Your thoughts on Barack Obama?
Well, don't know if I had a lot of face-to-face meetings with him. And we had some confrontations on Obamacare. And remember, Obamacare was supposed to always be revenue neutral, and it never paid for itself. I just think that he started our country down this road too fast of going the presidency exercising executive orders. And the best statement in regard to that was, he says, if Congress won't, I will. I got a pencil and a phone. And you know what that's kind of an autocratic, dictatorial approach. Instead of working with Congress, you're going to take Congress on by doing it all by yourself. and that's not the way representative government is supposed to work.